Hello everybody, this is Seneca Harris and I'm coming to you with another video commentary brought to you by the UrbanWire Media Network, where we shine the light on issues impacting the urban community. Now today I want to come to you and discuss a situation that has been plaguing the media. And I'm not talking about COVID-19 because we know that's all we've been hearing in the media for several weeks now. What I'm talking about is the trend of black men being gunned down by police or so-called vigilantes of justice. Now, the situation that I really want to get on today has taken place here in my hometown of Indianapolis. Is dealing with a young man by the name of Dreasjon Reed, which people knew him as Sean Reed. He was a 21-year-old man that was gunned down by police after a police pursuit. And a lot of people are saying that there was a lot of foul, like actions behind the, what happened took place during that pursuit. And there was a Facebook Live that was deleted by the officers, but some people got a hold to it and they were able to put it out to the media. Now, this situation comes after the whole Ahmaud Arbery situation, and we know how that brother was just savagely shot down by two white supremacists, we're going to call it what it is, that were calling themselves being vigilantes, and this man was doing nothing more but jogging in his own neighborhood. But this situation here in Indianapolis is sad because it was two black police officers that gunned this young man down. Now, there's conflicting reports on who shot who shot first or whatever. But there was a Facebook Live, and a lot of people are speculating that this boy was shot. It was just overkill. He was shot 15 times. The report said it was 13 shots. That's what the reports were saying, because there was two extra bullet casings that was found, but it was from the gun that he owned supposedly. And the messed up part about it is they tased this young man, and at that point he was no longer a threat. So these officers pretty much just shot this boy in cold blood, and then to throw salt into the wound, they were talking about how the police officers were making inappropriate comments, which the comments were picked up on the Facebook Live, and they were saying, "Looks like we're going to have a closed casket, homie." And I guess they were making fun of the fact that his body was just riddled with bullets, and he was just. It was just an ugly scene. And like I said, the Facebook Live was deleted, but people were able to capture that Facebook Live and put it out there to the media. So this has just caused a firestorm here in Indianapolis. The media has gotten a hold of it. There's so many, different accounts. It's a lot of stuff that's still being sorted out. Investigations are ongoing and stuff like that. And a lot of people are looking at IMPD kind of sideways, because this has been a deadly week as far as IMPD is concerned. There were two other shootings, it wasn't two other shootings, it was two other killings that IMPD were involved in. One of which was a young lady, and I'm going to get her name. Her name was Ashlyn Lisby, and she was 23 years old. She was struck by a police officer. And it was like it was close to 10 o'clock. It was 9:45, 10 o'clock. And people were saying that he was driving recklessly. I don't know if he was trying to get to work or get to his shift or whatever, but they said that he struck this young lady, and she was pregnant. So obviously her and the unborn child lost their lives after this incident. So that was one of the situations. There was also another situation where a young man by the name of Mikael Rose, he was 19 years old. He was shot by the police, and there's still trying to sort out what's going on with that. They were saying how they believe this young man tried to set up the police. It was like a call to 911, and they were saying how there was a burglary or whatever. And when they got to the scene, the young man had a rifle and he started firing shots at the police. They said the police weren't harmed in any of the events, but it's just been a deadly. It was less than 24 hours or all three of these incidents happened. It was 8 hours. It was an 8-hour span. And a lot of people are really looking at the details of these cases, and there's a lot of questions that have been unanswered. This is going to be a long video. I'm going to tell you guys up front. I got a lot of video clips, a lot of receipts, and we just have a lot to cover. His sister, Jasmine Reed, she has been very vocal in the news media, and she's just been devastated about what's been going on. You know, I know people in my family that know her, and they were just talking about her mother's just real. The mother of Sean Reed, she's just devastated. She hasn't been able to get out and really speak to the media. So Jasmine Reed's been just out here carrying the torch, trying to, you know, get justice and stuff like that, and get some of these questions answered that so many of us have. There's been social activists in Indianapolis, and I hear there's been a huge divide. It's just been so much going on. The protest downtown, there was a protest downtown, and then there was a protest on the northwest side where this situation happened. And it was just a lot of bickering and arguing with amongst the social activists, you know what I'm saying? And it's just a lot going on with IMPD. We're going to get to the clips. I just want to tell you that IMPD is actually being under investigation right now. There are 2 police officers that have been arrested due to misconduct. And these officers have been arrested. One was arrested for domestic violence, and then another one was arrested for misconduct while on the clock. And it's just a lot of corruption with IMPD, and a lot of people are giving this police force the side eye. Now, the IMPD chief, Randall Taylor, says that things are going to be under investigation. He's not really trying to release the name of the officers at this point. But like I said, we got a lot to cover in this video. We're going to start out with some of the footage from the news media outlining the whole entire situation. And then we're going to jump into Jasmine Reed, his sister, what she had to say about the entire shooting and the situation at hand. Also, we're going to go to the press conference that IMPD released, outlining not only this case, but the other 2 killings that took place prior to this. And also, we're going to jump to a couple of people that are well known, like Mike Epps. He's originally from Indianapolis. He came out with an emotional statement where he was just, you know, just trying to plead with these young people to just, you know, let's just stay on the straight and narrow. Let's not give these police, even give them a reason to do us the way that they're doing. And also, Kendal Wyatt, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he is the sister of R&B singer Keke Wyatt. He did a Facebook Live talking about what he witnessed at some of the protests and stuff like that. And he's a well-known activist. He's a real good dude, real solid dude. You guys should definitely follow him. He has a podcast too, if I'm not mistaken. But I had a chance to ask him some questions on Facebook Live about what he saw and what he witnessed. So we're gonna get to all that. So I'm gonna tell you, you know how I do. You might as well just get you a bag of popcorn, get you a pen and paper, take some notes, because we're gonna not only talk about what went down and give you the scoop of everything that happened, but we're gonna talk about what we can do as a community to combat this and how we can protect ourselves. So we're going to go to these clips, and I'm going to interject here and there, but we'll be back, and after I go through these clips, and I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Time for Indianapolis is putting the city in the spotlight. 3 separate deadly police incidents in a span of around 7 hours are attracting national headlines and protests in the streets. Good evening to you at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. Those demonstrations have been happening almost nonstop since the first deadly incident. IMPD says a man exchanged gunfire with an officer and was killed around 6:15 Wednesday evening on the northwest side. RTV6's Cameron Riddle talked to activists who say their fight is about more than one day.
More than 24 hours after witnessing the death of an Indianapolis man on Facebook Live, residents of Indianapolis are still protesting, making their voices heard tonight after an entire day of marching through the city streets.
Today was a sign of unity. We was able to put the word unity back in the community. It was a great thing to see.
Community leader D. Ross organized a protest which turned into a march through the streets of downtown Indy.
Never in my history have I ever seen such a thing, such a beautiful thing where we was able to come together in a nonviolent way, in a peaceful way, and make sure our voices were being heard.
Ross has become close with the family of Dreasjon Reed, the 21-year-old man shot and killed by police. Ross says the family asked him to organize a rally to make sure what the world watched live on the internet does not get forgotten or go unpunished.
But I know that they want justice. They do want the officer to be fired, and they want him convicted of murder.
Ross says the demand for accountability is the reason protesters are still marching at the scene nearly 12 hours after the protest began Thursday at noon.
No one's above the law, and I think we need to show that right now.
In Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And we are learning more about Dreasjon Reed. We have confirmed with the United States Air Force that he served as an airman first class for 9 months at Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. They say Reed did not serve a full recruitment contract with the Air Force, and that means something led to his separation. But the Air Force cannot tell RTV6 why Reed was released because it falls under the Privacy Act.
Tonight, the family of Dreasjon Reed wants justice for their son. Our Stephanie Wade speaks with them as they react to watching it all play out on Facebook. And she has IMPD's response tonight.
Quite a large crowd gathered here outside the city county building in downtown Indianapolis. No justice, no peace are some of the phrases that protesters are chanting after a man was killed by IMPD following a police chase last night.
But at the end of the day, we gotta have resolutions. We don't need to turn on each other.
My little brother became a statistic. He wasn't trying to be that. He's a statistic now.
The family of Sean Reed are devastated over what they saw on Facebook Live Wednesday evening. Reed live streamed the entire incident and the final moments leading up to his death. What began as a police pursuit around 6 p.m., officers say the suspect was seen driving recklessly on I-65 near 30th Street. IMPD Police Chief Randall Taylor was actually one of the officers who first spotted the driver. Another officer from the Northwest District then saw the car once he got off the interstate and pursued the suspect for some time before Reed pulled over at 62nd and Michigan and began running. In the video, you hear a buzzing sound like a taser. IMPD says the officer did use one, followed by several gunshots. Then the man falls to the ground.
That was his only boy.
When you watched the video, what did it make you feel?
I mean, I was crushed. It just gives me the whole nother disrespect for the police. That's just all it did. It just shows me that, we're not really being protected and served. We're being hunted.
IMPD tells RTV6 shots were fired from both the suspect and the black male police officer. Chief Taylor saying he's heartbroken over the life lost tonight. In a virtual press conference, we asked the chief point blank, was the police officer justified in shooting the suspect and why? And could this have been avoided?
At this point, I have no reason to think that the officer didn't act appropriately, but I'm willing to wait and see how that investigation plays out.
Till we get out of this era of the police killing black people, it's just what it is.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
The shooting is being fully investigated, we're told. Chief Taylor promised to be fair and transparent.
And here, 62nd and Michigan Road. This is the aviator view of that demonstration yesterday. So let's continue our live team coverage. News 8's Demi Johnson joins us live with what the protesters want to know and see. Demi?
Scott, good morning. So if today is anything like yesterday, we can expect to see large crowds, blocked traffic, and loud chanting. Now, many people at both demonstrations yesterday told us they will march again today in response to Sean Reed's shooting. Well, the first of the two yesterday started out quietly with a moment of silence, candles, and a balloon release outside the Indianapolis Public Library. Later, hundreds of people met to protest at 62nd and Michigan Road, where Reed was killed. You can see drivers being forced to take detours off Michigan Road as protesters crowded the streets with signs. They marched for miles, chanting and demanding justice for the 21-year-old. We heard from Reed's dad and one of his closest friends for the first time yesterday.
He didn't deserve to die like that. I'm never going to recover from this.
It's been not just with Sean, it's been multiple deaths in less than 24 hours. We all should just come together. Like, it's pointless. Like, if we don't come together, then what? They're going to just keep doing the same thing.
News 8 learned Reed would have turned 22 next month. Now, we're told 62nd Street and Michigan Road will again be the site of another protest today that is supposed to start at noon.
IMPD's police chief is pledging a fair investigation in the police shootings that happened this week, but other groups in the city are demanding one. Our Mark Mullins spoke with the chair of the African American Coalition of Indianapolis, who offered a call to action for the entire Indianapolis community.
There's a range of emotions and a range of feelings associated with it, and there are a lot of questions about exactly what did happen.
Willis Bright is the chairman of the African American Coalition of Indianapolis, a collaborative group of civic, social, professional, and service organizations focusing on educating and engaging Indy's black community in the political process. In a statement, the AACI expresses sorrow and grief over the police action shooting death of Dreasjon Reed, but also calls for a deeper, transparent investigation into the events leading up to the deadly confrontation, an investigation involving more than just IMPD.
Whether it's the state police, whether it's the FBI involved, and a multi-agency investigation, we think that would give a great deal more confidence to many in the community.
During our conversation, Bright told me the two deadly shootings involving Metro police officers this week are tragically symbolic of missed opportunities.
Frustration that once again we're back at this particular situation, that we've lost a young life that under the right circumstances could contribute to our solving the kinds of societal issues that we have.
Police shootings of young black men being one of the societal issues that seems to keep plunging neighborhoods into times of grief and mourning.
That's what we know makes a difference. If a young person feels that they're important to at least one other person, they're less likely to be in situations such as we've encountered. And having police that know that there is an accountability that they must have to the community.
That was Mark Mullins with that report. The coalition says it is continuing to push for more civilians to serve on the police department's use of force board.
You know, we just are seeing people showing up right now. They're holding signs that say justice for Sean Reed. We are expecting more people in the next few minutes here to show up for this protest. We know this was organized by Dee Rose, who's an activist on the east side of Indianapolis. Do you want to come over here and tell me what you're here for this morning?
I'm here to protest for
Stand right here in front of the microphone. That's okay.
I'm here to protest for Sean Reed because he was murdered by the police, and they keep saying that he had a gun on him and that he shot the police. They can't even get their story together. Like, y'all can't even get your story together. First, why would you tase him if you were in danger for your life and you're a police officer? Why would you tase him if you thought he had a gun? Why would you tase him? Why wouldn't you yell gun? You didn't hear nothing in that video, him say gun, gun, nothing. All you heard was him tase him. He saw him go to the ground. He said the tase was not effective. How was it not effective? We all saw it. 30,000 people saw it. We saw him drop to the ground, and then all you heard was 18 shots. And then he shot him 2 more times after he was already on the ground. You shot him and he couldn't even get up. You shot an innocent man. You shot him because he ran from you? Was it worth it? Was it worth his life because he ran from you? That's sick. Remember his name, Sean Reed. Please, please, just tell your family and friends, keep them close, bro. Black lives matter. They matter. So many people keep dying for this. Please, please, tell everybody, bro. Remember his name, please. That's all I ask. Remember his name.
The next clip you're going to be listening to is Sean Reed's sister. This was a clip that I got from a Facebook Live where whoever taped it, they were pretty much getting her point of view of what really happened. You didn't really see her true and raw reaction in the media, but in this particular clip, she's really telling you from her point of view of what really happened. And she was just explaining, you know, her feelings as far as the inconsistencies on what was put out here and what IMPD claimed what happened. So we're going to go to this clip. And like I said, this is very emotional. It's very sad. But I want you guys to check this out. And then we're going to continue with the commentary.
But that's not a body cam. Face is on live. Face is on my brother's phone right now. They got it on their phone with my little brother being shot after he was tased. They tased him and shot my little brother. They shot my little brother down after he was already down. He told them he was unarmed and they took my baby. They took him from us. He was unarmed. He told them that and they tased him and shot him down. Ain't no justice for that. Ain't none. We'll never see him again. I see him in the casket, my daughter. He was 21. He was in the Air Force to be a cop. So practice to serve y'all. And y'all took him. And he was trying to be what y'all was on. Y'all took him.
Worst occupation ever.
You're a civilian in this city, and you witness a murder, you have all the rights as a citizen. There it is. So this is what we gonna ask. I said that to say this. That was an alley-oop. Just like you got a right to testify, so do whatever police that know that they lying, right? So, if they want us to be good witnesses, they always get on TV and say, we can't solve murders because y'all don't never cooperate. All right, boss man and them, here's more opportunity for you to show your community how to be good witnesses. So, you got the best opportunity. Y'all got the best opportunity right now. They preserved the evidence. They had us out there late. We ain't threw a rock or a brick. We ain't did nothing. He's standing here calm as all get outdoors. What are they going to do? That man who was second on the scene, who know that that's what it never good, if that's what we're saying, he got to be at home looking in the mirror saying, am I going to cover up? That's right. Or am I be willing to come out from in there? That's right. And stand right here with me? That's right. Just because you're a police officer, don't mean you're right. You know, that's not a serious. That's right. Yeah. You got to be a man first. You got to be human first. The FOP president, you know, know, they gotta get behind that whole shield, but he gotta be a man first. It's okay. Like that little dude was a man. We have to own up to what we saw. He was behaving recklessly, but not intentionally. He didn't intend to get himself killed. And this upstairs, they got laws, right? And that's how we have to fight them. It's a such thing called men's rib. You know what that means? The mental state at the time.
Yeah.
What was he thinking at that moment when he pulled that? That's right. That's what we gotta ask. I talked to my brother this morning. What are we going to demand? I told him transparency, because guess what? Some of us know the law. Some of us are lawyers. Some black person gonna hear this and say, let me go help them look into this. That's right. Stop looking at the results. Stop getting emotional. Stop getting hyped. Go look at the men's rib. At the moment when he fired that shot, where was his head? Because if you already tased and you already down and already popped you in the leg, then where comes shot 5, 6, 7, 8 times? That's where we gotta go. So I don't want to be emotional. I want to come to pass out blood and man. And I got my own little platform on Facebook. That's my little soapbox. I didn't want to get up on this soapbox with my message, but I do want us to know we can't beat them with just words. They set up this thing called law, right? And that law is protection. Or the person they have behind it when it's convenient for them. You know why? Because we don't know. It's called ignorance. Bring your mental state up and then you won't react so emotionally. Anybody seen the situation last night? No emotion. Intellect. I have to think my way through. So my city, my community, my neighborhood, our followers, our constituents, thinking. When they talk, words mean everything. Anybody know what the word etymology means? It's the origin of words. Pay attention and speak it English. Go look up what the word means for real, not what you think it means. What do it mean? He didn't use the full in the box and paint them in corners and say, nah, boss, it ain't gonna work. We got enough money, you know what we should do? We should wait on the ACLU, because guess what? That's another government institution. That's not real. What we ought to do is somebody that we trust. We ought to be able to elect one trustworthy person that don't got no black guys. And we pick that person and we agree. And we surround him with all ugly women. And we let that person be the person that accepts the cash app, right? And we all put something in that cash app until we got enough to go to a civil rights attorney.
That's it. That's it.
If this is the one. See, Rosa Parks, she wasn't the first one to get put off the book.
That's right.
She was just the perfect one. So we need to get behind it.
That's right.
I told my brother, I said, listen, this time, they got just enough to cause us to have now. But listen, let's look at it real tough. Let's look at the facts real tough. And if it is, let's start that process. So they can act like the only gonna keep us behind. No. Get that money together, get that civil rights attorney, even if he's the black. It don't matter. I don't care about your color. Somebody got to be a sacrificial lamb. So I don't know the trick. Don't do your brother like that. If they go overtake him and put him under the bus, guess what? Start it up. Fire that bus up. And I'm sure he's gonna fire up the bus with them. Let's make sure we understand what ministry means. And when we discover what his mental state was, we got the money to see that mountain up there. So we can just stand out here and do like this. Has anybody ever been up here in court? Boy, with your mouthpiece talking, guess what you doing? Huh? You shutting up. Guess why? Comfortable. Let's get comfortable, people. I'll tell you.
Where was the compassion? This man was there. I watched the video. And you know what? They were following before they liked you. So that's why he didn't want to pull over.
That's right.
Y'all did this and y'all wrong.
Yep.
But the people behind that desk, they don't care. You call me for help. They don't care. I learned it myself. I don't know what's going on. You hear me? But you got to stand for what's right. Okay? You cannot give up, okay? RP to my daddy, RP to the young man that lost his life. He was scared, he was running. Y'all shot my daddy in the back. Going to 4 times before time. Y'all shot the spit 14 times, they tased him. And you laughed. Where is he? You got kids. You got nieces, nephews. I know you do. And you're home with your family, but you laugh. It's not right. You do what's right. The man behind the desk that's in charge of this, you do what's right this time.
That's right.
Harry, you came for me when I did wrong. So those cops who did wrong, you come for me.
That's right. That's right. We want justice.
Shutting the street down, you ain't gonna do nothing but piss people off. That motherfucker gotta go somewhere to work and shit. Hey, you talking about them niggas gonna fuck you when you get to crib.
So I came up here under the ask of somebody, and I just witnessed Indianapolis splinter further. I watched some men get up front and incite some women, and then when opportunity to throw a rock, elected not to, and just said, you know, no justice, no peace, and fuck 12. So my position is, if we don't get organized, then you're gonna just get a bunch of nothing out of it, and you're gonna get some women and some kids hurt. So now we ready to see what the leadership out here, the one who said, fuck it, let's rock. I'm ready to see what they're gonna do, because I went up here and I tried to explain to them that intellect is better than emotion. They wasn't buying that. Ron G, OG-ness, he said I was wrong for being in the wrong neighborhood. So I'm gonna let Ron G have that, but I just was further proving why I should have remained at home, is because this city further splintered. But I got a phone. I was at home. I had to sit my squad home. Everybody go home, tuck off. I got called. Please come in.
You did though.
But that just proved it more.
But that's irrelevant.
That was a light-skinned move. I know.
That's irrelevant.
I know, but me and you both light-skinned, but they just acted real light-skinned, bro. Facts. But I'm gonna go over here and let y'all hear this real quick. They gonna cuss me out. Watch them try to fight me or some shit. Watch. Let's see. Where they go? Here they go, right here. Right here. I ain't say nothing. What are you talking about? What is he, drunk? I came up here looking at the police. What's wrong with him? I just, my bad. That's Ron G. He mad at me. What he mad at me for? Why he even addressing me? I'm not addressing him.
Our beef is out there.
I don't have it. I'm not even.
Hey, hold up. One of the family members?
Yeah.
Not with us.
I don't have a beef. That's him. He done had a bite to drink. That's what it is.
Hey, one of the family members that was slain over here wants to speak to the crowd. And because at the end of the day, we out here for this family. Standing in solidarity with this family.
Which one is the mother?
We want to honor what this family wants to do for them to get them justice.
You see how
so
fast
I'm gonna let this sister speak. I want everybody to pay attention.
And please don't be disrespectful on top.
Please don't.
Respect that
How y'all
queen.
doing? I thank y'all for all coming out and trying to rally around for my nephew. I'm asking y'all just to calm down just a little bit so we can get a little bit of answers. We don't know what happened, and we're trying to figure it out. And all we know is he's dead. And I thank y'all all for trying, because y'all are giving my nephew justice right now. And I thank y'all for that. I'm just asking just to calm down. Don't just jump on their cars and all that. Just don't do all that. I know we're trying, but don't just for my nephew, please. Just kind of be peaceful. Be peaceful, please. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank y'all all for coming.
We love you, baby.
Thank y'all.
Love you, baby.
I'm here for y'all family.
Somebody's
got it.
That came from the victim's mother, and that's what I came. So I'm gonna go ahead about my business.
Fam, I ain't got no problem.
Fam, why are we still talking about that, Ron G? I don't talk. For what? I've never been a talker, bro. I run shit over. I run shit over. Right. So why are we talking? Keep that same energy. I don't do no rapping. Right. Yeah, I ain't even, I don't even talk. He should know me by now. I don't talk. That's it.
Yeah, please.
That's it.
Especially if you call yourself a leader in our community.
Right.
Please honor the family.
That's right.
We're gonna have peace out here.
Yeah, he talking about, he talking about me. I don't know why. Man, you know I don't pay no attention. Everybody who know me know I'm gonna run through him.
We ain't gonna do that out here though.
I'm not paying. I'm a lead. I'm not paying that nigga no man. Ma'am, I'm Shane. Listen, Ron is upset with me. I don't pay him no attention. I'm here just listening. Thank you, ma'am. Yep. But I don't want to bring no bad energy because I came up here to be. Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you. Because he's upset with me for just being here, I guess. Yeah. He wanted.
It's okay.
Yeah. But this was mad because I'm not going to tell y'all to throw no rocks and get beat up and fucked up right now. That's what he wants y'all to do.
Me personally, I ain't trying to hear from either one of y'all.
That's why I'm in the back.
Shut the fuck up and
you hear me?
fuck down.
I'm going to get on in the back.
Both of y'all.
Because I ain't said nothing yet, lady.
Calm the fuck down.
So you just.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I ain't said nothing. Have you been watching?
Yeah.
So what have I done?
Just back off.
So when you say calm the fuck down, you should tell that dude, because I'm always in control of myself. Always. Like I'm never going. Right. Let me get out that way. Yeah. Oh, he mad at, that's what it is. I ain't broke. You heard that? It's my bag, Holmes. Because I ain't broke. I own stuff. I own 4 businesses. That nigga mad at me, man. That nigga got on the suit jacket on the Friday. He mad at me, man. You heard that? You heard what that man said? He said, I'm tired of people getting money. I'm a business owner, my nigga. Wow. He mad at my bag. He mad at my bag. That's what it was. It wasn't had nothing to do with this. It was me having more money than him. Wow.
That's what it is.
Well, that's Ron G for you, y'all. He's mad at me for being Shane, I guess.
He mad because you're trying to bring the community together as black people, as we should be.
Thank you.
As we should be.
Well, I'm going to go home because I was at
Picking up these
home.
little young kids off these streets.
So what did they decide to do? The mother. Okay. Well, wherever it is, I will be there and I will play the background like I always do. Well, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and leave. That was hating, man. That was hating. I'm not, man, sir. Yeah. Shane Shepherd. S-H-A-N-E. Shepherd. Yeah. He said, I'm mad at you because you getting money from the city. Damn. That hurt me, man. That hurt, Ron. That hurt. That hurt there. That's bad. That man said it out loud. If you can't,
to the prosecutor, to talk to the chief, that's their position.
I'm with the people.
Shane, Denell, you feel me?
Oh, no doubt. I just,
you feel me? T Hood over here.
Where y'all at?
You feel me? Them gonna be the ones that
there she go. Excuse me. I ain't over here with Ron G. Ron G called me a bitch. Oh, my mama, listen. And I logged it in my motherfucking memory bank, nigga. I put that in. That nigga called me a bitch tonight. So get what I said? No problem, big homie. I'm gonna put that in my pocket. Guess why he called me a bitch? He said, because the city gave me some money. I said, a broke nigga always gonna be mad at a rich nigga. Yep. He called me a bitch for this. So get what I told him. See me in the morning. I'm gonna get away from him. Facts. Ain't nothing to talk about. That's a good place for you. And I wasn't mad when he called me there. You hear me? I said, wow, bitch. Me? Wow. That's what's up. I ain't even mad at him. You look at him. That's what ignorance look like. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. How? How?
You ain't gonna disrespect me.
How? Tell me how. No. Let him go. On my mother.
Let him go. Here, somebody hold it. Hold that for me. Keep it up. Keep it up.
I got it.
Keep it up. Keep it up where I can face you.
Hey! Oh, hold up! Really?
I'm letting him fly. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Fly, you know me. I'm letting him fly. I'm okay. I'm letting him fly.
Watch out, watch out.
What you mean?
Watch out. Watch out. Leave him alone. Don't touch him.
I'm telling you, Shay. Listen. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. I promise you, I let some fly. Soon as you get in my zone, I don't play. Where he at? Right there. Let it go. Hold this again. I
walk up.
I promise I can walk.
But don't walk up. Right.
Hey everyone, the next clip we're going to be listening to is from Kendal Wyatt. He is a social activist here in Indianapolis. He is currently establishing a grassroots organization to combat some of the ills that are taking place within IMPD. One of his initiatives is to make it mandatory that cops wear body cams. So that is one of his initiatives, and he has been very vocal. He has been in communications with the chief of police here in Indianapolis, and as far as getting that initiative started and making sure that there has been some accountability as far as the conduct of IMPD officers. He has really been very vocal. He shared some information with me as far as some of the protests. He was really telling me that he feels that the protesters and some of the social activists in this city, there's not a cohesiveness between the activists here in the city, and some of the protests haven't been as productive as they could have been. So he's trying to create a grassroots organization to actually put in that work. And just a little fun fact about Kendal Wyatt, he is is the brother of Keke Wyatt, the R&B singer. So he's really using his platform. He's using his influence to put back into the community of Indianapolis. So we're going to go to one of his Facebook Lives, and I'm going to continue with the commentary.
This is another late night update before I go to bed. We did receive today, hold on, make sure my camera is clear. We did receive today a response from one of the deputies of the chief of police, Kendal Adams. He gave us a response, and we're looking through the information that he provided to us. We're looking through that information. We will give you guys an update on what our next steps are. His letter, which I will not make public because I don't want to violate that trust of a personal email. The letter was a public letter, but his email response was private, so I won't make his response public. But it was cordial, it was warm, it seemed sincere, and it seemed an olive branch was extended to be able to work on a few things. So I do appreciate the police chief and the deputy chief for responding to us directly and not sending their information officer to speak to us, but they responded directly to our request. We're going to, as I said, we're going to take a couple of days and look at what they gave us. They gave us some information, little background on their stance on the body cameras, and explanation for why they have the position that why they've taken the position that they've taken on body cameras. And we will look through that information over the next couple of days, and we will report back to you, the people, what we come up with. I'll say this: we will make sure that things are done in a way that makes a whole bunch of sense, and that may require your assistance meeting us downtown, but we will know more about that in the coming days. I just wanted to let you all know that the police chief and deputy chief did respond to our letter. We told the chief and deputy chief that we appreciate their willingness to try and work with us. As you can see today, the FBI took over the investigation, which is something that we asked for. We asked that the prosecutor recuse himself, and he did. We asked that the police chief and the investigators with IMPD to recuse themselves, and they have. The FBI now has the case, and a special prosecutor has the case as well. So y'all just continue to pray. Continue to pray that the Lord would grant favor to those of us that are trying to discuss behind closed doors some of what's going on. There are those that are protesting, and they should. There should be protests. As I said last night, every excuse me, my phone's going dead. Every function, every part of the community has its function. We all have a place. I was telling y'all last night, somebody called me a house nigga. I said, well, that's fine. You call me a house nigga all you want, but the house nigga is in the house you're trying to get into. So when you're in the middle of a battle, you kind of set aside your differences so that you can get the victory, and then you can circle back to your differences later. But we did get a response. I reported that response to our team, and everyone has taken a couple of days to look through the information that was provided to us by the police chief and deputy chief Kendal Adams. And I appreciate Kendal Adams for responding so quickly. They responded in less than 24 hours. And with all that they have going on, I appreciate that act of goodwill to respond to us and do their diligence. Oh, I've been tired for days ever since this thing happened. I've not been getting sleep. But we do appreciate them responding back so quickly. We're going to, as I said, discuss what we think the next steps should be. It is important when you are dealing in these kinds of situations that you have a complete grasp of the facts. I have a set of facts walking in the door, and they provided me an alternative set of facts that we will look into and make sure that we can reconcile what I believe I know about the situation, reconcile that with their position from their side of the fence, because at the end of the day, what we want is body cameras on police officers. That's what we want. So you got to be willing to go through the process of introducing yourself, stating your position, giving them an opportunity to state their position, and then you try to discuss from there. So we made the first step, and to his credit, the police chief and deputy chief Kendal Adams, they responded back today. The very next day they responded back, and we appreciate them. I want to say publicly, thank you, Kendal Adams, for responding back to us with the blessing of the chief, responding to us so quickly. That was a tremendous act of goodwill and good faith. And so we thank you, Kendal, for responding to us. We don't take that lightly. We do appreciate you responding to us. It goes to show you all that sticks and stones don't get you as far as cordiality. And sometimes the way that you can win a lot more bees with honey than you can vinegar. And you can win the attention and the respect and garner and earn the respect of a police chief and his deputy by not throwing stones across the street. And like I said, everybody has, yeah, you heard me, Keela. And that's why we're going to go through, it appears that there's two different sets of facts, but it's okay. We'll flush those out. We'll flush out what we believe is the reason why we don't have body cameras. He stated their position, and we will look through it and then discuss with them, right, or water bottles. Pastor Bartlett, you're absolutely right. And we'll discuss again with him. But I want to say publicly again. I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. Prosecutor Ryan Mears, thank you, Ryan, for stepping aside and allowing. Thank you, Ryan Mears, for stepping aside and allowing a special prosecutor to come in and take over the case here in Indianapolis. We want to thank you, Ryan Mears. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Prosecutor. Prosecutor Ryan Mears, thank you for having the wisdom to step aside. Thank you for that. But we also want to thank the police chief and Deputy Chief Kendal Adams for responding to our letter so quickly. I appreciate you all for doing that. Now, thank you. I know, Catherine. Now we have to do our homework. We'll look through some of the information that they provided to us, and we'll look through that information, and we will report back to you, the people, to let you guys know kind of where we are with this, because I may need your help, because the squeaky wheel gets the oil, but the only way a wheel squeaks, you all, is when it turns. The squeaky wheel does get the oil, but the only way you know that the wheel needs oil is when you turn it and it starts squeaking. So I might need you all's help turning this wheel and making a little bit of noise downtown. We'll see what happens. But I wanted to give you guys a report back on that. The other thing is, I know that IMPD has had just kind of the worst, probably the worst week in the history of the department. But the situation was what Dreasjon and then the other young man that was killed the same night, and then a pregnant woman was hit by an officer because she was crossing the highway and he didn't see her. And then last night, another officer, I don't know how, I don't know if they fell asleep at the wheel or what, but ran into someone's house, and their squad car came barreling through the exterior wall of someone's home. They've just had a terrible week. And so I do appreciate, in the middle of all that, the chief getting back with us. I would encourage you all to pray for the chief, because even if you don't, even if you are angry with how those officers probably handled that situation on the ground, it was not the chief who pulled the trigger. And so, but he is carrying a heavy load. So I've been in prayer for him. I would encourage you to join me in praying for the chief, as he is at some point going to have to make some very difficult decisions about his officers. Not to mention the fact that he had to arrest 2 officers yesterday, one for domestic violence and another one for theft. So this week, they've had two police action shootings. His officers hit another woman, a young white female who was pregnant. She was crossing the highway in the middle of the night and in the dark, and no one saw her, and she got hit by an officer. Then yesterday, he had to arrest 2 of his officers, one for domestic violence and another officer for theft. And then this morning, early in the wee hours of the morning, another officer drove his car into somebody's house. They're having the worst week ever. And so I'm just praying for the chief.
All right, here's the letter that Kendal Wyatt was referring to as far as their correspondence with the chief of police. I'm not going to read this entire document, but I am going to hit on the main points. The document states, Chief Randall Taylor, my name is Kendal Wyatt, and I'm a part of the group of young pastors, ministers and activists in our city who are extremely concerned about the circumstances surrounding the death of Sean Reed. We understand and have seen firsthand and profoundly negative impact the situation has had on not only our city, but the Black community and the Reed family, but also yourself and your officers. Before we address our concerns, we want you to know that we are in prayer for you, your officers, the Reed family, and our entire city. Understanding and honestly is the only way we will be able to get through this very dark time in our city. On May 7th, 2020, we had an opportunity as an organic group of young leaders to have a Zoom conference to discuss ideas that we strongly encourage you to consider adopting. Every minister represented in this letter is under the age of 45. We believe, because of our direct connection to the Black community in the Indianapolis area, that we are on good footing in making the following recommendations. And I'm just going to read the points in this letter. I'm not going to get into the details. Number one, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, IMPD, as well as the Marion County Prosecutor's Office recused themselves from the case. Number two, we are calling on VOP Osley and the City County Council to immediately have an emergency session to debate and bring to the floor legislation that we will approve the $2 million needed for IMPD officers to have body cameras. And number three, some form of disciplinary action to be taken against the officer that was recorded saying, "Looks like it's going to be a closed casket, homie." Now, I also want to mention before we move on that I had a chance to talk to Kendal Wyatt some more, and this upcoming week they are going to be meeting down at the City County building again. There has been, since this letter was released, he has come up with an official name for the young group of ministers and activists in the Indianapolis area, and that name is going to be the Young Lions. So I am going to probably follow up with him, and I'm going to do this in a separate video because this video is already going to be very long, and we're just going to probably get down to what they're going to be doing. We're going to give like an up close and personal video about what their plans are as far as an organization. So be on the lookout for that.
Everyone, I want to speak upon the young man that got killed in my hometown, Indianapolis. These cops gotta be punished. You can't put them on desk duty. You can't suspend them. They gotta feel the wrath. I mean, you know, you just out here killing young black men for nothing. I mean, you know, it's sad that they're hiring cops that are not culturally connected to the culture. They scared of black people. They young, they skinny, they weenie. They ain't never been around a black person in their life. And then you chase them down and you kill them. You overkilling them. You shooting them 100 times. And young black men, we got to stop giving them an opportunity to kill us. We got to stop giving them an opportunity to kill us. They killing us because they watching us kill us. Praying for all the families out there. Praying for the young black men that are dying out there in America by the hands of these enemies. I mean, damn, man, this is our family, man. These are our little brothers and our sisters that they killing out here. And the police is playing tick for tack right now. And we gotta love ourselves, y'all. I really don't get on here and be preaching, but man, this is bad out here. We got everything against us. So we gotta outthink it. I used to be ignorant too, man. I used to be young and ignorant and wild and didn't understand until I start understanding that they after us. Why am I after me too? Why am I after my brother? Why am I after my sister? They after us too. We all after each other.
Hey everybody, that was a clip from Mike Epps and his perspective on what took place here in Indianapolis involving Sean Reed. Now, after Mike Epps put that out, comedian Ari Spears, which a lot of you guys may know, he came out to argue Mike Epps' position on the entire situation. He kind of feels that Mike Epps is kind of being hypocritical, or not necessarily hypocritical, but kind of contradicting himself when he was talking about how, one aspect he was saying how the police are doing X, Y, and Z, but yet we're kind of feeding into and giving them a reason to shoot at us. I guess that's how he claims that's how he interpreted it. And from my point of view is, I think he misunderstood what Mike Epps was saying. I understood what Mike Epps was saying. He wasn't saying that, we have to not give them a reason to shoot us like it's our fault, but we have to kind of adapt to what this society is. You know what I'm saying? And we have to just kind of move accordingly. He's not saying that we deserve that or we put ourselves out there to be shot, but he was just saying we have to be kind of smart and kind of maneuvering through society. And I guess, it just got all out of hand on social media, and Mike Epps offered to, do a boxing match with him and all that. I'm not even concerned with all that, but I just kind of felt that Ari Spears misinterpreted what Mike Epps was trying to say. Mike Epps has a good heart, and I know he means well by what he was saying. So I just wanted to throw that in there before we go to our final commentary. All right, we're back. I know that was a lot, but there were so many intricate pieces to this story that, I just wanted to include everything and give everybody a picture of what happened. That's how I do my videos. I put everything together. I want to fit everything together, bring you all the receipts, bring you all the videos, all the documentation, and everything else. Because I want everybody to have a clear picture of what happened. I just like to tell a story throughout my videos. But I just want to say, wrapping this video up, we as the people, we have the power as the people. And, Black people, we have to realize we are under attack. White supremacy is still here. It's not going anywhere. And we, as a community, we have to take a stand. We have to be vocal. And it's even bad. It's worse that we got people within our community that are enemies of our community as well. During a time like this, we got activists out here at these events. They going back and forth, bickering, acting a darn fool, fighting, and then like Kendal Wyatt said, like somebody called him a house nigga. And if anybody knows Kendal Wyatt, he's very radical. He's very outspoken, and it just seems like it's just, why take this situation and exploit this situation to throw shots at people? You know what I'm saying? And this is why people don't take our community serious, because we don't know how to get on accord at certain times. When we come together, when we truly come together, the powers to be are threatened. But sometimes we are our own worst enemies because we can't get it together and come together without some type of divide. You know what I'm saying? And this is not the time for us to be bickering, arguing, acting a fool. We really need to get on point. This is a very pivotal time. Not only, with all that's going on, but this is an election year. We got to get out here. We have to vote. We need to know who's in office, and we need to make demands to these people that want our vote as a Black community. And we need to tell them, if you can't do for us specifically, we're not going to vote for you. Our streets are filled with crime. There's poverty. There's all these things that's going on, and they're not addressing it. All these other groups get kickbacks from the government. They know how to leverage their vote. They appreciate their vote. But when it comes to us, we have always been that class of people where they use us, but then they don't do anything for our community. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel that the whole situation with IMPD, I don't know what's going on, but there's so many questions that are unanswered. There's obviously misconduct within the police force, and we as the people have to demand change. We have to demand justice, and we can't just get out here and shout and protest and this, that, and the other. We have to speak through our vote. We have to get involved politically, and we have to demand more out of our leaders. You know, it's just sad that we can't even look to those that are supposed to protect and serve us, and it's just a sad situation. This young man, you know, they were saying how he was fighting and dealing with a lot of demons. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get his life together, but he was just going through a lot of stuff. But the way this boy was shot down, it was just totally senseless. It was overkill, and it was uncalled for. And for those of you that have the nerve to get on social media, and a lot of times it's us, you know, I expect the white supremacists and the people that are against black society to say little ignorant stuff. But when it's us talking about, well, he deserved to get shot, and trying to justify the officers' actions and stuff like that, it's disgusting and it's despicable. And then we wonder why nobody takes us serious as a community. You know, we have no loyalty towards each other. You know, we always want to shuck and jive and coon, and then you got these people on social media that want to be controversial just for the sake of being controversial for clicks and views. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of sad, pathetic people within our community. You know what I'm saying? And in order for us to deal with white supremacy and deal with all the outside forces, we have to deal with what's going on within, and we got to deal with these so-called sellouts. We have to deal with these people that are destructive to the community. We have to deal with them first, because people are not going to take us serious until we can get our stuff together. We have to. You know what I'm saying? It's just a sad situation. We look at the situation with the Ahmad, our brother Ahmad. He was shot down in cold blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are dealing with a lot, you know, and then the whole COVID-19 thing, I don't even want to get into that. There's a lot of things that we as black society, we got to get serious about. You got black people within out here, influential people. Man, I was watching a Facebook Live, and I ain't gonna say no names, man. And this guy was on here, and I'm gonna say it was a gospel music singer, and I'm not gonna say who it was, but you sitting up here looking like you 2 cheeseburgers away from a doing heart attack, and you sitting up here trying to tell the people that COVID-19 ain't as serious as, you know what I'm saying? I just find that you the last person that need to be talking about you, and then you talking about you were diabetic, and then you had to be rushed to the hospital and stuff like that. But you telling us that we don't need to take this serious. So that's why I'm saying we got ignorant people. We got people within our community that are detrimental to our own community. We have to clean it up. We have to separate ourselves from these people. You know what I'm saying? And I just again, I'm gonna wrap this up. My heart goes out to the individuals that lost their lives. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know all the time, you know, these young people, they may not make the best decisions. You know, we were all young. A lot of us, you know, did some things we didn't have any business doing. That's just young people in general. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. But that boy was savagely killed. He did not deserve it. And he was going through some things. And it just hurts my heart that nobody was able to reach out to that boy and help him through what was going on in his life before this took place. So, Jasmine, I just want to tell you and your family, you know, we are lifting you up in prayer. You know, I just pray for all the black men out here that are out here just trying to survive, trying to make it, especially those that are trying to work hard. They got families that are fathers that are just trying to live life, and we are under attack on all ends. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it is important for us as a community. We need to stay intact. We have to stay on one accord. Quit all this bickering, quit all this arguing, especially in front of media. We have to be a cohesive front, because if not, nobody's going to take us serious. You know what I'm saying? And young people, we have to stay on the straight and narrow. We have to do what we need to do and do things that are going to be productive to our community, in our lives, and our families, because we don't want to give these people an excuse to kill us or shoot us down. You know, it's bad enough you can't even go outside your house when you're doing right. You can't jog in your own neighborhood. It's crazy. So I just feel that we don't need to give these police officers any reason to justify, have some type of justification of killing us. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know, what do y'all feel about the whole situation? What do you feel about what Mike Epps and what Kendal Wyatt had to say? And what do you think the solution should be at this point? Drop down in the comments, and we will continue to follow this story. You can check our podcast out. We're going to probably do a live call-in show this weekend. If not, we're going to eventually do that, because I feel that we need to come together as a community and just let our voices be heard and kind of just have an open dialogue. So until then, everybody take care of yourself, take care of each other, and we will catch you in the next video.